Hello and welcome to a new episode of Life Conversations with Victor James. I am that Victor James. It's been a while here, and I think that I was inspired to come on and release a new episode today because I spent the last 2 hours or so talking on diverse topics, and I was wondering why not store up this wealth of information that you are shunning out for free, and that will just be lost after you've already spoken them. So here am I, and I apologize for taking so much time to crawl into this space. So I want to start with a story, instructive story from my life. 3 years ago, or was it 2? I think it was 2 years ago. I saw a classmate of mine. We attended elementary, primary school together. I saw a classmate of mine. I was planning to attend a wedding with my secondary school classmates, high school classmates. So we decided to meet at a mall. And when we met, we were gathering together to meet at that mall and then take a bus to another part of the state together as a group. Wanted to attend the wedding of one of our own friends who attended the same secondary school with us, of course. So while we waited, I saw someone call my name, Victor. Wow. Yeah, I said, how are you? I recognize this face. Now, this person looked like a woman that was far older than me, and in my own eyes anyway. And hello, good morning. It was morning. I know this face. I now began to mention my university, my previous place of work. Where did I know you? I know this face. So the person mentioned and said, my primary school mates. We were at primary school. We attended this in primary school together. Wow. That was 20 years ago. Wow. I said, of course. When she mentioned, yes, I mentioned, I said, yes, I remember now. Yes, wow. While alas, she was sweeping the floor of that mall. As at that time, she was sweeping the mall. Now, my heart dropped as I left. I greeted, of course, very cheerfully. Hello, how are you doing? Wow, I'm happy to see you. And she smiled and was happy. I was happy to see her too. But as I turned to leave, I felt that that drop of sadness, like a stone, at the pit of my belly. I thought, wow, why? A person I attended primary school with, she's sweeping a mall. What could have gone wrong? Why? I think I stayed in that space of I don't know. It's not necessarily sorrow. It's not disappointment. It's just let me just say I wasn't happy about the situation. I was question there. Let me see. I stayed in that space of questions and yeah, I was just wondering how. So later on, I began to question myself that the fact that she was actually sweeping that mall. I don't know the story. I don't know the complete story, but it broke my heart. Right, that was the first story. Now that this happened 3 years ago. Now, the 2 years ago, I finished a class. I was still teaching at that time, teaching preparatory classes for university, and I came down around 5 p.m. Now I wanted to start going home after the day's work. So as I was standing waiting for transport, vehicle or any other form of transport to just take me to where I would, to my bus stop. I would take a taxi, a cab home. I saw this lady walk past me with a bowl of oranges on her head. Now, she was hawking oranges. So she had already walked past me as I was standing waiting for vehicle, waiting, and then she walked past me. And she had walked past me before I realized, I know this person. She was going, in my brain I was saying, I know this person. Why do I know this person? She was going again. Eventually my brain clicked and I realized she was my primary school classmate too. I stood there at the side of the road and I couldn't get myself for a bit. I just, why is my classmate hawking oranges on the street? Someone that was my classmate. That provoked me a lot, and I went home for the next 1 week. This had more profound effect than the one that happened 3 years ago. I don't know. The person was a prefect. I was a prefect too in that school, and she was a prefect. And if the prefect could end up selling oranges, what would happen to I just started to question a lot of things in my own life, like, am I doing well enough? What is happening? What happened? Now, I have to say this for clarity. My primary school rather, was very local, and I'm proud of that school. I'm proud of my very humble beginnings. I'm very proud. I love to share the stories from my past. But it was dilapidated buildings, and it was a government-owned school, a local primary school, free education. Everybody could attend, and it was in a part of the city that was so local too. And I mean, wow, we hardly taught in English language, in fact. And I don't know, sometimes I wonder how I even got to where I am. And of course, thankfully, we have a lot of our primary school mates too that are doing even better than me. I'm happy to say that. But still remains that a lot of persons in that school who never moved past primary school, who never completed secondary high school, and who therefore never became anything really in the society. Really, that is sad. It was sad when I saw my classmate at that time, and it is still sad to me now. So the question, one of the most prominent questions that I asked myself on that day that I saw my classmates was this: how would my teachers feel? The persons who taught me, who spent 6 years of their lives laboring over us, how would they feel? Because I remember vividly my primary school teachers would talk about, we always trying to inspire us to do better academically. They would always say things like, please read hard, work hard, and study, so that you don't become hawkers, because so that you don't sell things for your mates in the market while your mates are driving, so that you don't trek about. So there were instances and examples they gave to try to encourage and motivate us back then. And then to now see my classmates as examples, living the reality of what my teachers described as sort of failure, according to my definition of my teachers anyway. I began to ask myself that, how would my teachers feel? How would Mrs. Ogoyemi feel? How would Mrs. Jacobs? How would she feel if she sees these people, if they see that the persons that they actually tried to save through education weren't at the end of the day saved. So that thought, now that line, that trail of thought led me then to now begin to, of course, everything in life, I believe you must, in one way or the other, turn it into personal motivation, personal goodness, and personal motivation. So I asked myself, now what? If at the end of the day, I began to think that I owed it to my teacher. I owe a lot to my teacher. I owe a lot to them, and therefore I owe them still. That is, many of the things in my life now were brought about by my teachers, and therefore, because I hold these successes, little successes to them, I must remember that I owe it to them now to be better than this, to be great in life, to achieve milestones. I don't know if many of them are alive now. I just want them to hear of me later on and say, Victor, we remember him from primary school. And we are thankful that he was able to do this and that. Because I can't imagine what they would feel, because I taught too. And anytime I see my former student not in a great place, I always take it personal. I wonder why I could have done better then. Why didn't I save this one? Why didn't I impact this soul so much that success would be guaranteed for him or her? So I feel that my teachers in primary school, in secondary school too, and even teachers in university too, I feel that they may also feel that way and say, yeah, why did they not do enough? And therefore, I must now do well. I must do better, so that I will give some hope to my former teachers, to those who taught me how to read the letters, the alphabet, to those who taught me how to read books. When my brain was empty, they filled it with mathematics, with whatever, the building blocks of my entire intelligence or brilliance. The persons who made this to happen, I owe it to them for the rest of my life. To be a person of value, to be a person that people will look up and say, yes, this is a great man. So, yeah, in the midst of the sadness I felt from seeing my two secondary school mates in places I never expected they would be. In fact, I know because of the primary school mates, because of the situation of my primary school, and I know now that so many of my people, they will probably, because of the society, not necessarily because of their own personal fault, but because of the society, because of the space in that school, because of that time, so because of the way their own world is, the community, there are a lot of limitations to their advancement and progress in life already. And then, I don't know, how did I make it out? In fact, I owe a lot to my parents, and I feel that they probably made a difference. So yeah. In any case, so I suppose my this story has taken a different turn now. This podcast is different from what I envisaged when I started to talk. But I just want to outline this. One, for you who is listening, and for me too, we must be people of substance. We must have value. We must do much more better than we are doing now. If it's just for the sake of people who built us, you invested so much, it can be your parents or your teachers. Please, don't live a useless life. Like don't live a life without impact. Don't be a passenger through life. For the investment of people into your life, I think that I think that they deserve to see you will record some level of greatness and success in life, just to bring some smile to their face and say yes, they did something too. You can be the person who a teacher would see or your parent would see and say, wow, my effort didn't go to waste. That's one. Two, for those who are not in a great place now, I don't consider myself in a great place. I think that it's just with the backdrop or in comparison, which is not a wise thing to do, to consider your life in comparison to anybody, whether for better or for worse. It's not necessarily wise. I don't think I am in a great place. I want to do more. So for those who are not there yet, who feel a lot of insecurity about where they are presently, there is the time. So thankfully, the story I shared didn't end there. Last year, I was traveling, and then I was on a motorcycle and I was moving from here to there, and then I saw someone call me. The same voice, Victor. So I turned and I saw my friend, my classmate, and it's not my friend exactly, my classmate, my primary school classmate, who I said was sweeping a mall. She was the one who called me. She now has a shop to herself. She owns a shop. She was selling things, provisions and stuff. And I was happy. She called me. She waved. I waved back. It gladdened my heart, to be honest. And yes, that is advancement. Yes, I didn't meet her in the place where I left her. Yes, she moved a step further. No matter how little, no matter how short, she took a step forward. Yes, that is progress. And I was happy. I am happy. And I know that my friend, why am I calling them my friend? My mate too, who was hawking oranges. I want to believe that she is no longer doing that. And I want to believe that maybe she has a stall or fruit stall. And I know that something is not good today does not mean that it will never be good. It will. In fact, the fact that something is not good today is a testament to the fact that it will be good, because there is much room, so large a room for improvement, and therefore every step forward should be greatly celebrated. So wherever you are, I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to you, don't look down on whatever level you are now. Just make sure that you keep running forward, you keep going on. Don't look down. Don't look down, and don't give up, and don't throw in the towel, and then don't drop your arms. Don't shrug and move and lie down. Don't give up. There is room for improvement, and as long as we live, we must always seek to enter that room. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and I appreciate you as always for listening. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, and bye bye. Till next time, be well.